All right, welcome to the show, folks. That's right, you got the American Adversaries Drive Time Prime Time Show coming to you live on AM 660, The Answer, from the Mercury-Free Broadcasting Studios. Don't forget, for the very best in mercury-free dental care, call my dentist, Dr. James E. Hardy, at 407-678-3399. He and the gals over there will treat you right, and they will do the best they can for you. And I tell you what, they keep my mouth in good shape so I can keep doing this talking here. I am Christopher Hart, joined in the studio tonight once again by the chairman of the board, Mike McBath.
I got to tell you, I'm excited about our topics tonight. I think we're going to have a lot of fun, and I think we're going to enlighten a lot of individuals out there.
Indeed, we will. All you got to do is listen to us. We'll be here, of course, until 7 o'clock. Lucas Paris has us up on the Periscope.
Hey.
So that means you can hopefully go to YouTube and see us on our channel.
There's still 7 of those.
Yeah, they're still working on our show from last night. So, Anyway, no, that's all right, Jeff. Jeff Sinis is on the bridge. Yeah, Jeff Sinis is on the bridge tonight, and David Levitt's going to be joining us a little bit later on. And, of course, you can join us at any time during the show simply by calling us at this number, 407-774-8255. And we do have a lot to talk about tonight. First of all, the president has fully normalized relations with Cuba. This is not just opening doors of conversation. Full normalized relations with what he called, quote unquote, the Republic of Cuba.
I know. I mean,
we are the Republic.
I know.
They are a dictatorship.
Because you get it. Well, you know what it is. It's two socialists meeting each other. You know what I mean? Their socialist president and our socialist president, they get a chance to chat and see how many people they can put behind bars.
Speaking of that, he was in the, I believe it was in the Rose Garden today. I heard it, but I didn't see it, with the president of Brazil. And I forget her name.
He's having a little bit of problems.
She was just reelected by the fur on her chinny chin chin, or the hair on her chinny chin chin, or the skin of her teeth. Let's put it that way. And the polls are showing her numbers are plummeting. She's mired in controversy and scandal down there, and she is a full-blown socialist. So today was the day to have a little menage a trois amongst the socialists.
Well, you know what? Maybe we'll be making some loans to these countries, too, to help them out.
Well,
I mean, I think we should definitely help out Cuba for how they took care of all their citizens. Yeah, right.
Especially the ones they locked up.
Can you imagine the Cubans that are really living in Miami and reading these announcements today and just moving their head in disgust?
It's got to be sickening them.
It would be just so sickening. And then just think of how the people were treated. Think what they've done to the country. The island is absolutely beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I go to the Cayman Islands a lot, not for banking, but I mean, the reality, I do. And you fly actually directly over Cuba. And I mean, it would probably be the pearl, of
the Caribbean.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And, but they absolutely, literally destroyed it through socialism. Yeah. And it's a case that, if that became a capitalist port, would that place, actually it'd probably bankrupt all the other islands, not the most of them aren't, right? Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
And, but to approach and do what we're doing is absolutely wrong.
It is indeed. But it is done. This president has done it. We will build an embassy down there, and they will either build or occupy a building up here. Yeah. And I reckon bring their cigars with them, but it's a done deal there. We have normalized relations with, quote unquote, the Republic of Cuba. That is just so disgusting.
But you know what, too? I was reading today, was a couple of our senators, Republican and Democrat. How could you, as a Republican, go over there and embrace this because of the history of the whole situation? How can you do that and say you're a Republican?
Well, they probably have the Hyatt hotel chain,
I
or the
know.
Hilton hotel chain, and their
you get like a free pass, the Wyndham when they build there and everything.
Exactly,
and,
right.
It'll be a great time, and surfboarding and all that. I know.
Yeah, exactly. And the people of Cuba will not be much better off, I'm afraid to say, for it all. Also, the president today, or at least the administration, has announced that, who's the fellow who owns the Washington Redskins?
Snyder.
Yeah, Rob Snyder.
Right.
He has been talking about building a new stadium. And
which they need.
And they're still, and they were seeking some public funding, which is the
norm.
Part of it. That's the norm.
Part of what goes on in professional sports.
Yep. Applying the field out there. And the Obama administration has said that they will resist any public funding of that stadium as long as the Washington Redskins are called the Redskins.
Now, Chris, we got to look at that again. And first of all, we know what name needs to go. We both know that, right? And it's not Redskins. We understand that. But the other point behind that is, what is he putting his mouth into this situation when we got nuclear talks going on? We have all these financial problems all over the country. We have all these problems in our cities. And he's worried about, what a infinitesimally small little nothing thing for this joker to get involved with. Why don't you get the work for once in your life and get off the golf course?
Indeed. By the way, he also had some other interesting things to say in a presser that he had with the president of Brazil today, including some comments on the light display at the White House. So we'll get to that in the next segment.
Oh, that's a good one to talk about.
But I want to get to this.
I know.
This first, too. Donald Trump, CNN rolled out a poll today showing Jeb Bush surging to a substantial lead of 19%, which, considering that everybody else has much less than that, and he had 13% in their last polling. Donald Trump has surged to number 2. And, of course, CNN is making a big deal out of this today, and I think they're happy about it. Donald Trump makes for good press. He makes for good print, and so they're loving this.
No, I think they do too. And plus the other thing, and we're all aware of this, the other individuals, in essence, since their announcements, they really haven't had much press. There's really not much going on until we get into these debates.
Yeah.
So, and I love that word, surging. He's up another 1/8 of a point. Wow, boy, this is the tide rolling in,
Well, not only that, but L. Rush Fuzzbo, he likes to say, polls are not, to reflect the news, they're to make the news. And certainly I believe that that's what the CNN is doing with this poll. But it's nonetheless, it puts Donald Trump in the limelight, and he will either flare out or he will flare up. And
I think you would agree, though, again, even last night, as we both know, the networks were full of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And I think just about every channel I turned on here, the financial channel, the health channel, there he is.
Yeah.
And the guy is a showman, and this guy understands. I'm not sure it matters what you say, just be on.
And obviously,
Hillary's a perfect example of it.
Yeah.
Just be on TV, they'll vote for you. It doesn't matter what you stand for,
And you don't even have to say anything.
Right.
By the way,
that was pretty low, Chris.
It's I think I might have said Rob Snyder about the Redskins. I just got this from ND. It is Dan Snyder.
Dan Snyder.
And thank you. But yeah, it's Donald Trump is a phenomenon. He has the money to make this last a while, and he is going to cause problems for the other Republican candidates, and that's what CNN likes about this. But guess what? That's kind of what I like about it too.
Yeah.
Some of these other Republican candidates need some problems, created for them. They're too soft of a touch. I was thinking today, out of the 14 we have now, and Scott Walker's not even officially in yet.
Right.
And there was someone else who was supposed to get in too. That's
Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, might as well. But out of all of them, there's only 5 or 6 who I believe are really what we need. The toughness, the smartness, the boldness.
Right.
All the others are just same old, same old.
And again, not to rehash anything, but I'm still happy that Trump's in there because he's going to make whoever walks out of this a much better debater. And I would bet, I mean, they could strip Hillary down so simply because he's going to teach them how. Because you know what? He's coming after you.
Right. I believe he's one of the tough ones. Carly Fiorina.
I like her a lot. Of
course, Ted Cruz. He's at the top of my list. Let's see, Rick Santorum. He's, but he's got the right attitude.
Yeah, I know.
He would out of the ones that I'm listing, I think he and Trump would have the most difficulty getting the nomination.
Right.
I believe that Carly Fiorina has a better shot than he does. But she has some things, with her business past that will be used against her at some point, and things that she has said while she was at Hewlett Packard. Anytime you say anything, obviously you express an opinion. Somebody tries to use it against you later.
Right. Freedom of speech, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Rick Perry, I believe, belongs in that top 10, that top 5 list.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to him debating. I really am after the fiasco last year, but I actually think, obviously, the guy is much better than how he presented himself a year ago.
Yeah.
I mean, or a few years ago. And the reality is I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll tell you who's at the bottom of my list, who I think are the biggest wimps of all of them, who've been overly Oprah-fied. Jeb Bush is down there. Lindsey Graham is down there. Marco Rubio's trying to get down there. And by the way, he fell in that CNN poll today. And once again, they're, who did they poll? I'm not sure exactly what their sampling was, but nonetheless, these are the poll numbers. He needs to toughen himself up. He needs to, he's got the best presentation when you watch him. But he's not saying the right things. I'm sorry. He's just not, and he should not have gone along with this trade deal. I am sorry. That sold us down the river.
No, I agree. And the more you look into it, how in any way could you justify giving the president absolute authority?
That's what I'm talking about. This president?
After going through Obamacare.
Yeah, and he comes out today, I'm talking about Rubio, and I haven't heard his comments, but I understand he's got a statement out about normalizing relations with Cuba. Well, this is the guy. I mean, he's objecting to normalizing the relations.
Didn't he object to that tremendously?
And he's objecting to it again. But this is the same guy he just gave the trade deal to.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that on one day and then come back the next day and tell me what a bad guy he is. Don't do that.
But you got to read the polls.
You got that's right. John Kasich, I believe, also has a soft touch. Anyway, I know you folks aren't, because we'll be right back for a lot more of it.